Hey y'all, welcome back to VW Family Farm. This is Andrea, and let's go milk a cow. So if you've been around here a while, you know the cow I'm milking right now, her name's Miracle. She has her own playlist. It's like 100 degrees here. It has been for days, and it's gonna be for another couple days before we get a cool down. It just dawned on me. I'm standing here waiting on her to make her way over here out of the shade, and I thought, I'm waiting on a miracle. Hence the shade cloth that we have hung up, trying to give them more shade. They're over under some trees right now, which is good, but the shade moves throughout the day, so we're just trying to provide some shade. And you can see one of them is just bailed off in the pond. It's just hot, y'all. We're making it. Really don't know what else to do at this point, but just persevere for the next couple days. Miracle took a little stop in the pond too, so that's lovely. Now I get to dry pond water off of her, but can't really say that I blame her. When you're basically passing by a big swimming pool and it's 100 degrees, you might dive off in it too. Come on, girl. If you've been around since Miracle was a little calf and know her story, she was literally one of the wildest calves we've ever had here. Don't let her fool you. She can still be wild sometimes. I don't know why, and I put this on Facebook here a while back, I don't know why she chose me. Maybe because I was there and milked her when she first got down, and you'll have to go back and watch her whole story, but for some reason she trusts me, and I don't take that lightly. I take it as an honor and a privilege. I didn't realize how much until we tried to have someone else milk her a few weeks ago. She finally let them. They were farm sitting for us, but whew, it was an ordeal. It's loud in here, and plus I can't talk loud because Miracle doesn't like it, but I've hand milked before and I love the simplicity of it. In fact, there's things I like about it better, but in cases like this where there's flies this time of year, there's lots of dust, she just came out of a pond, things like that, I can get her washed up, wash her udder, dry it off. And once I put these milkers on, it's what's called a closed system. There's suction on there to the point where it's closed off to things getting in there. Dust, flies, hair, all those things. Pond water. She's clean and sanitary. And as long as when you switch, which generally each milker has like 4 claws, so you're milking all 4 teats at the same time. Ours is set up for 2, long story about that, but as long as they're clean when you put them on there, they're gonna stay clean while you're milking. You leaving? See ya. Bye. Bye, girl. You wanna say something? Okay. Got that accomplished. Now I got some animals to feed. Y'all come along with me, and I am gonna give you some updates on some animals I haven't showed you in a while. And honestly, I haven't showed you anything in a while. And let's talk about why that is. If I had the hay baler, I think I'd just run away. So where have we been? That's the question. We've been getting messages on other platforms, Facebook and different places about, where are you guys? I'm worried. And First off, I want to start off and say we are fine. We have had some things go on in our life, and I'll share those with you guys, but we are good. In fact, we are doing great. So where we are as far as pigs right now, we are selling pork as fast as we can get it processed. It's just, we can't keep enough pork in stock. I don't know, we're processing 10 pigs a month and trying to keep up with that. We do not have any baby pigs right now, which I'm actually thankful for because it is so hot. I'm sorry if you see me keep wiping myself, but it is so hot out here, y'all. It's been like 100, over 100, 108 or something yesterday. I don't know, it's crazy. For days, we've got today and tomorrow, and then hopefully the heat's gonna break a little bit and we'll be back into the 90s, and right now that feels like a big cool down. It's just where we're at, but this extreme heat this summer has been hard on the animals, and so I'm going to be completely upfront with you guys on things that have happened around here. It's fine. Let me just put this disclaimer out there. It's sad that I have to do this, but I do. You always feel free to ask questions around here, but I'm just going to be upfront. If people leave ugly, nasty, judgmental comments about things they don't know anything about, I have just over time, I just delete and block. I just block them from the channel. Questions are fine. So if you're wondering, hey, have I been nice? You have. These people that I'm talking about don't wonder and they don't care. So I'm just putting that out there. But I am going to tell you guys really what has happened this summer. We have, you can see 2 old spot girls here eating. There's 2 more in this pasture. So we've got 4 there. Short tail, who we had for quite a while. I liked her. She had such a sassy attitude, but I really just liked her. She died on one of the hot days. And you might say, well, was there water? Was there this? She had shade. She had water. She actually died in a pond. I'm not going to say it doesn't matter if they have shade. That helps, obviously, but sometimes it's not enough, I guess I'll say, when they are already got some age on them. And it's just hot. It's hot for them to breathe and everything else. So over in this pen, you saw me feed first. This is where our 2 Berkshire females are. We've been super pleased with the Berkshire meat. So we're gonna keep these girls. There's an old spot female in here, and there's 2 old spot males. So we actually have 5 old spot producing females, sows. The one in here is actually still a gilt, but she's about to have her first litter. And we have the 2 Berkshire sows, and then we have these 2 old spot boars. That's the only boars we have. We also lost our Berkshire boar. He overheated. Laying under shade, he overheated this summer. It's just been a really, really, really hot summer. I don't know how to stress that enough. And like I mentioned a minute ago, we have no litters of piglets, which is a blessing because, just being transparent, we lost an entire litter. We lost 14 old spot piglets. They died one by one by one. We had to wean them. We had to, for the health of the mom. And they can get shipping fever, pasturella, just like cows can. We have had that before when we first bought our large herd of cows. We've never had it happen in pigs, but that is what happened this time. They got it. We knew what to do. Did everything we knew to do. Actually contacted a vet as well. Nothing helped. Sometimes you can do everything and it just doesn't help. And we lost the whole litter, one by one, as we were trying to do things to save them. And it really, really stunk. Who had babies? Who did it? You? Don't get mad when I say this, but we take care of these barn cats. We buy them food. We feed them. We water them. But other than that, they don't get any kind of special treatment. And isn't it wild that they just thrive and keep reproducing? And these animals that we're trying to baby die. Don't think by me sharing honestly and transparently with you on here that everything around here is just dying, because that's simply not true. But when you have as many animals as we do, and I'm sharing with you a brief synopsis of things that have taken place over the last month or two, it is gonna seem like a lot, but we keep going, we push on, we take care of what we have left, and always try to learn from it. Turkeys are doing good. Our Tom turkey, we showed you for a while, he looked like he was not gonna make it. He has recovered and is thriving, doing really great. In here in the rabbit pen, lost our female rabbit just this week. I just keep hoping, hang on for one or two more days. Relief is coming. We've done a lot of things, I'm not even gonna go over them all, to try to keep these animals cool. And at this point, it's just like, hang on guys, just hang on. All right, let's move on. So by the time you see this, it is actually gonna be almost my birthday. My birthday is Tuesday the 29th. So really excited about that. I am so thankful that I feel so joyful. I don't even know how to explain that to you guys. And so I just want to, even though this video, I'm telling you all the things that for the most part have went wrong this summer, but I've tried to do my best because I never want an animal to get sick on my watch. But it does happen. I just want to tell you that if you're going into farming, I always want to be real. But you've got to do your best, and then you have to let it go and hold on to hope and hold on to perseverance and joy and forgiveness for yourself when things do go wrong. Some things you got to own, and some things are out of your control, and you've got to know the difference, and you've got to, either way, you've got to forgive yourself and move on, or you're just sabotaging the rest of your life. So I just want to offer you guys some hope for where you're at in your life. Let's go up front, let's get these animals fed, and I'll give you the last updates of what's going on around here and where we've been. What's up, guys? So for a bit of good news, this group out here of Berkshire feeder pigs is doing awesome. They're probably half or a little bit more raised. We have a whole group back in the woods that I'm gonna go feed next. There was 35 of them. We're down to 24, I think. We've taken off that many. So they've got a couple more months of taking pigs to the processor left of those back there. And then these will go finish out back in the woods. We have all these different pens, just trying to keep them rotated. And these are doing great, thriving. There's a runt in here even. I'll see if I can show it to you. We did not even think it would make it. Still making it. It's growing. It's about half the size of these others, but it's still making it. So there it is. If they move, it's laid right up against the shelter. If I get up, it's gonna get up. Y'all see it back there? It's so cute. I'll get up and see if y'all can see it. Hey, what's he doing? Beehives are mostly gone, a couple left, but mostly they have moved on to greener pastures, I should say. No, Ben just moved them. They're still in our same county. They're just moved to a place where there's farm fields they can feed on, because we're in, I'm not a beekeeper, but I think it's called dearth, where there's just nothing up here for them to feed on. So we moved them. They're already packing. The super's full again, so we'll get another honey harvest this year, it's looking like. So that's amazing. And then I'm sure the beehives will come back home after that. I don't know, I just am the assistant, so I just try to do what he asked me to do. And yeah, that's where we're at. 4 eggs. We have a ton of chickens, y'all, so 4 eggs is terrible. But it's 4 eggs. It's better than nothing. And I just want to give you a little encouragement. We add chicks and pullets to our flock every single year. Every year without fail. Because our kids get them through the 4-H program. And so this happens to us every year about this time. When it gets late summer, it's super hot. We're getting a couple from our new chicks now that were hatched in April. So we're starting to get a few. They're 4 months old, but nothing really to speak of, nothing consistent, and not very big numbers of eggs. And the ones from the previous year that were just starting to lay at this time last year, almost without fail, so now they are 16 months old, they go through a molt. I don't know if it's the heat, if it's their age, a combination of all of it, or what it is. But we go through this every year. And it's just one of those things, if you've lived through it before, or if someone has warned you that, hey, this is gonna happen, you just have to persevere through it and hold on, because a harvest is coming. So, notice the chickens and roosters in here with the blue legs. There's different ones in here. Some of these are Emily's 4-H hens. They're all hens that have the little tannish, orangish legs, if you will. And then the ones with the blue legs, they have huge combs, y'all. Look at them. Those are the American breasts that we are raising for meat. I don't know how well y'all could see those, and my camera died a while ago. Had to go in and take a breather because it's so hot. But I was telling you guys before the camera died that filming is kind of like kids. They will make a liar out of you almost every time. You say, my child hasn't done this, my child does this, and almost inevitably they will stop doing the thing you said they were doing, or they will start doing the thing you said they never do. These chickens are the same. I just told you they're not laying much, and I got 6 eggs today. That's the most I've gotten. So that's how it kind of goes for us. The ones from last year are kind of going into a molt, and the ones from this year are starting to kick up. A lot of times we have a gap in between. We don't get to choose when we get our baby chicks, so we get them in April. Probably if we got them in like March or so, and I'm not complaining, I'm just telling you for future reference and for myself, as we go forward and we're not in 4-H anymore and we are hatching our own, you know, new hens or buying them or whatever the case may be. If we would get them like in March, it would probably line up a little better. We would probably already have some pretty good egg production before the ones from last year kind of slack off for a bit. Now they'll kick back up and do better than ever, but we kind of always have this little gap. Also, you can see those American breasts in there. We've processed the first ones of those. Really happy with the meat. We did a video on that a couple videos ago. Very tasty. They weren't as big as we'd like. These are the same age, same batch. So we may process another 1 or 2 of these roosters just kind of for part of our trial. Trying to find that right age range, to feed ratio, all that, to figure out how we want to raise these, if we want to raise these going forward. I believe that we will, just because it's a more sustainable homestead option for us, rather than always having to buy the Cornish cross. If we do the Cornish cross in the future, probably going to do smaller batches. maybe 50 or so at a time. I've done 700 at a time the last couple years. That's just too many for me to handle by myself. I just got to be honest with myself about where I'm at, and with the kids being busy, I don't want to bite off more than I can chew. So I'm probably not going to do that, you know, when I'm doing this by myself. Now, if Ben ever retires, that'd be a different story. He mentioned here a while back about getting like a part-time employee. I don't honestly see myself doing that either. If anything, I would rather get like an intern that not because I wouldn't want to pay them. That's not it at all. Because, you know, maybe I would pay them. Maybe I'd pay them in, you know, food. I don't know how that would look like. It would be whatever I worked out. But because I wouldn't want to be looking for someone who just wanted money. I would want someone here who wanted to be here for the knowledge, if that makes sense, because you kind of got to love this kind of work or you're going to hate it. And I don't know how else to say that. But anyway, last thing I want to say about these chickens is we have our chicken on our website, and the last of the chicken I've put together in chicken variety boxes, and I'm going to link that. I'm going to link that down in the description. You can click that. There's probably at this point only a little over 10 of those left, maybe 12. And then we'll be sold out of chicken. That has a variety of all the cuts, and it has something for everybody. It's a really good box, and I'm doing it at wholesale price. I can ship those as well, and this always trips people up. If you go in there and want it shipped and you put your zip code in, it's going to tell you there's no delivery in your area. That is for local people to order on there. If you want it shipped, shoot me an email to vwff@yahoo.com. Don't even try to order on the website. Go in there and look at it and look at the description. You can pick out other things that you want shipped as well, but email that to me. I will build you a custom order. I will email you an invoice and you can pay that way. Also, one last thing, there's no limit on those chicken boxes. If you wanted to order 5 of them, go for it, knock yourself out. There's no limit. It's just once they're gone, they're gone. So if you want to really stock up, by all means, that'd be awesome. I just got to point out, several of these that we just passed, like that one, were born last spring. So they're not even a year and a half old, and they just look fantastic. Everything is just, the animals are looking so good, especially the cattle. I just feel like finally we are getting some systems in place that is producing some really good quality results and good quality meat. If you've ever tried us before and you were like, it was a little tough, it was a little this, it was a little that, I beg you to give us another try, because we have learned a lot in the last couple years of raising meat to sell by the pound for other people. It's not as easy as just buy a cow, process it, and you're done. There's just a lot to it. That's another yearling. Just super impressed. You just figure things out, how to do them by yourself. And every time I do, I feel pretty smart. I was gonna show you all the pigs in the woods, but they're laid up in the woods. It's too hot, and they're coming out like at dark or super early in the morning and eating. They are eating because the food's all gone every day. And I go look at them because I want to make sure they're still alive. But they're not gonna come out in the heat of the day. It looks like they're having a beach party. Really, we've thought about shutting them out of this pond, but with it so hot, I just can't bring myself to do it. It gives them somewhere to get in and cool off. And I know some of you are gonna be like, that's such poor management, blah, blah, blah. I know, but it makes them feel good, and I just can't do it. 2 more days of this, and then we'll probably shut them out of here because we'll have a break in this extreme heat, and hopefully we won't have such a heat wave again this year. Hopefully this will be the last extreme one like this. So I know this video has been all over the place. I want to end with a couple things. Cattle markets. We went to a meeting last night of a cattlemen's association, and trends are looking like this. It's looking like corn and soybean. That's what determines a lot of feed prices. It looks like hopefully they're going to be down with this harvest that they're doing basically now, and hopefully that is going to affect our feed prices in a positive way this fall and then going into winter. Hopefully feed will be a tad more affordable than it has been. That's a win for the farmer. Like they mentioned last night, you know, the corn farmer, the soybean farmer, everybody is looking to feed their family and make a profit. So it's not like we're wishing evil or, you know, hard times upon them. But it's a fine balance. We want to find that balance where everyone can profit and everyone can make money, because ultimately when you do, you can stay in business, and farmers need to stay in business to feed America. And that's where the cattle market comes into play. There's been such extreme weather, droughts and floods and all kinds of things where people have lost cattle. And not only that, they've had to sell off their cattle because, especially out west, the droughts and things, they've had to sell them off because they simply don't have the grass to feed them. And so that takes away beef out of the markets. And we're talking about beef is like a billions of pounds, billions of dollars industry. It takes a lot of beef to feed America. And when people don't have as many mama cows to keep producing, to keep filling the market with feeder cattle, a couple of things happen. The prices go up of cattle. Right now is a really great time to be a cattle farmer because there's less cattle to be had. So that means the prices are higher. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, we've honestly thought about, instead of processing all of ours and doing the meat business thing, just taking them to the sale, because quality beef needs to go into the food supply that way as well. And we work almost every day something to do with this meat business, whereas right now you could literally just take them to the sale barn. They made this statement last night that really, if you want to make a profit in the beef industry right now, you just need to own some, because there's profit to be had. Okay, a couple of side notes on that. We don't want to do that. For one reason, we want to make a change in the food markets, in the food system. We want to put healthy meat out there. We want to feed our own family, and we want to be able to support that by feeding other families as well. But we have some people that do buy from us on a very regular basis, and they depend on us, and we don't want to let them down. Also, these prices may not last. We're in this for the long haul. So we want to be here even when the cattle markets level back off and come back down. We want to still be here providing quality meat. We don't want to take the short-sighted way out and just go sell them all right now. That's where we're coming from. Okay, so the fact that there is less feeder cattle in the market drives the prices up. But at some point, that's going to be a problem, and that is looming on the horizon. And people that study these trends and things, they know that. The reason the prices are high is because it's going to become evident that there is not enough beef to go around. You can't dramatically decrease the amount of mama cows and keep up the same demand. The supply is going to be low, and that's where we're getting to, and that's why prices are high. A lot of people are butchering steers and heifers and just anything they can, and by butcher I mean they're selling them to the sale barn for butcher animals. You're always going to butcher some of your heifers. Your heifers are not always going to be top notch to where you'd want to keep them, but right now there are people that are butchering and selling anything that they can. It doesn't matter if they should be keeping those for replacement heifers or not. They're selling them, so their future herd is going to suffer because they're not planning for that now.
people honestly are just trying to pay the bills. So I get all sides of this, but what it's going to equate to is beef prices are going to continue to rise. The price of cattle is going to continue to rise. It's a good time, if you can, to buy some cows, and especially cows that are going to reproduce, like mama cows and things. Also, the price of beef in stores is going to continue to rise. That's what the trends are showing. I can't predict the future, but that is what educated people in these things are saying and predicting. And they do know what they're talking about. So I would say now's a good time. Find a local farmer. Get acquainted with them. Right now, if you bought from a local farmer, I can't speak for all of them. I can only speak for us. We try to be competitive even with the grocery store. Though we have a far different product and different expenses and things than a commercial operation. And if you can find someone like that you're not paying a whole lot more than the grocery store. For instance, our ground beef is $5.99 a pound. This week at Walmart, it was $5 something a pound. So we're talking about cents more a pound. If you can find someone like that to support, in the long run, when that supply of beef goes down and there is a shortage and there is empty shelves, because it will come at some point, it has already come during COVID, we've seen that it can happen, then you will be set. You will have a relationship with your farmer who's going to take better care of you than the supermarket ever would. And that's just the fact of it. Last things I want to address. Where have we been? Why have we not been posting? The fact of the matter is, my mom had surgery, and if you've been around for a while, you know my dad passed away a little over a year ago. One of the things we promised my dad the night he died on his deathbed is that we would take care of my mom. We didn't have to promise that to be gonna do that. We would do that anyway, but we did, and Ben did, and I did, and we meant it, and we will take care of her. And if it means we drop other things, then that's what we'll do to take care of our family. You have to take care of those around you, whether they're family, friends, just whoever they are. If a person's in need, I feel like we're called to drop what we're doing and take care of them. And so that's what I've done. That's where I've been. Also, I hurt my foot. I've been hobbling around for weeks. Thankfully, I'm getting some healing. It's getting better. The Lord is healing me little by little every single day. And you don't realize how much you need your feet until one of them is injured. So I'll just leave it at that. So I just want to end this. I know this has been all over the place. I want to end this with some encouragement. I feel like we need some hope in this day and age. And a lot of people are going through a lot of hard things. A lot of people are going through a lot of change right now. School is starting. Some people have their first baby moving off to college, or their last baby, and now they have a completely empty nest. Some people have their oldest child, their first one, starting kindergarten, and all of a sudden your house is different during the day. Or your last baby went to kindergarten and now your house is empty all day. Or any number of things. Maybe your parent has passed away, like I went through last year, and just all of a sudden your childhood home is completely different. Your family gatherings are different. Just everything has changed for you, and it feels like the rug has been ripped out from under you. I've been there, guys. I have been there. I've been in several of those situations just in the last year, last few months, whatever you may say. Very well, Lane and Emily could both be married and moved out very soon. And so my life is changing rapidly. But I want to encourage you, don't lose yourself. That's one thing couple years ago, when I feel like I really went through the grief of empty nest syndrome, and then coupled with that, my dad passed away, and it just felt like, who am I even anymore? And I just want to encourage you, don't lose yourself. And if you're married, don't lose your marriage in all of these things. You're gonna look up one day and it's going to be you and your spouse again. Or like in my mom's case, she had a wonderful life with my dad, but now it's just her. And you have to find joy in your own life and in the life God has given you and in God. And so just don't lose yourself. There's still joy to be had in this life. Even though things change, kids grow up, at least your kids are around to grow up. At least you have a spouse that when those kids grow up, you look around and it's like, oh, it's just us again. And since I have embraced the season I'm in, because you can kick against it, you can fight against it, you can go crawl in bed and pull the covers over your head and pretend it's not happening. But that doesn't change anything. All that does is drag you down and depress you. Once you embrace where you are and you say, well, this is where I am, and we're gonna make the most of this, there's still joy to be had. Even in the midst of great loss, even in the midst of a loved one passing away, or that job not working out, or, you know, a dream, a seeming dream dying, things looking different than what you thought they would, there's still joy to be had. If you just look around, there's still people that need you. It may not be your kids. It may be your grandkids. It may be your neighbor. If you're thinking, well, no one needs me, you need to go find some people that do, because I guarantee you there is people out there that need a friend. Maybe you have friends that you left behind back when life got busy and crazy. Give them a call. I promise you, you don't know what season of life they're in. You don't know what it can mean to them just by reaching out. Send them a Facebook message, anything. Just get out of your own head and get out of your shell and put yourself out there a bit. And I think that you'll see that this is still a beautiful life, and there is still joy and fun to be had. Since I've embraced that, Ben and I have just really been reconnecting and getting to know each other again. Honestly, I know that sounds silly, but we've been parents now for 20 years, and that became who we were. And I saw this thing this week, and I'm going to end with this. It was a mom talking about her daughter, and I think it was her only daughter going off to college, and it was saying, she's full, but I'm empty. And it was saying how it was so beautiful that the daughter was leaving full of love, full of confidence, full of all these things, and the mom was empty, and how she was grateful to be empty because her daughter was full and she was sending her out into the world. And I understood what it was saying, but I just sat there and thought, I don't want to be empty. Like, I want to be stable and steady, and I want to be the place, and wherever I am, that Lane and Emily can look at and think, there's mom. I can always call her. I can always go home. I can always take a break from my busy life that they're fixing to start, and take a break and come home, and it be a good place, not a sad place, not a depressing place, not a where have you been, why haven't you called me place, not a bitter place, but a joyful place. And not a fake joyful, a real joyful, because I'm living joy, and they feel that and they see that, and when they're around me, they feel joy because I'm exuding joy. That's what I want. And that's what I encourage for you too. No matter what you need to do to change your life to get there, do it. Don't waste another day or another minute in, you know, self-doubt, self-pity, depression, any of those things. Don't get me wrong, they're real things. They are real things. I've experienced them. But get some help. If that's what you need, get some help. Go to the doctor, go to a therapist, talk to a friend, whatever you need to do to get your joy and your hope back. And I'll tell you, I can't not mention this, and I know it will offend some people, but who am I to say I believe something if I don't share it? Jesus is the hope. That doesn't mean, I'm not telling you like, if you just pray, everything will be fixed. It doesn't work like that. Sometimes it is, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes he's placed wisdom in doctors to help you guys, and to help me, and to help all of us. Sometimes the answer is getting some help, but the answer is always coming back to the love of Jesus and accepting that for yourself, accepting the forgiveness that comes along with that, and the freedom and the joy. I will see you guys on the next one. I feel a renewed spirit to do this, and it's gonna look different around here. I don't know what these videos are gonna look like going forward. I don't know how long or short they will be, or how frequent, but hang with me. Hit that notification bell so you'll be notified. If you wanna order, email me. I'm available. I try to answer emails all the time. I may miss comments sometimes, but I do always try to answer emails, so you can always reach me that way. Just thanks for over the years, everything, y'all. That's why I'm still here, is because of you guys, and that's why I can't walk away from this platform, is because of y'all and because you care. So thanks. See you on the next one. God bless.